What's up, everyone? George Valecchi here. We're a few days away from the NFL Draft in Indianapolis, where our own Patriots insiders, Zach Cox and Dakota Randall, are boots on the ground reporting with the latest they've heard out in Indy.
Zach Cox, Dakota Randall here on day 2 of the NFL Scouting Combine in Indianapolis. Just got finished speaking with some defensive linemen and linebacker prospects in this year's draft. Interestingly, a lot of these guys have already had some experience with the Patriots because the Patriots had their full coaching staff at the East-West Shrine Bowl earlier this offseason. Really interesting to just get some of these players' perspectives of what it was like playing for Bill Belichick, playing for other members of this Patriots coaching staff, because according to all reports, they took that week very seriously.
Yeah, I think that's been some of the most interesting stuff from today, is just all the players from the Shrine Bowl talking about their interactions with the Patriots and Bill Belichick. One player described Bill Belichick as just different like 3 or 4 times. It seems like the Patriots coaches were really hand-on and direct with their feedback and sort of instruction in that week. A lot of players sort of described that as something different than they were used to, which was certainly interesting. And then as far as players the Patriots are meeting, I mean, it's not uncommon for them to meet with a lot of the prospects that are here and leading up to the NFL draft. But Tyree Wilson, someone who's considered a top 10 pick, if not a top 5 pick, is someone who the Patriots met today. And then Lucas Van Ness, a defensive lineman out of Iowa, who's seen more as a late first-round pick, said he was going to meet with the Patriots tomorrow. So the Patriots maybe aren't a team who many people think could target a defensive lineman in the first round, but maybe they're just doing their due diligence. But some noteworthy defensive line prospects that they're talking to this week.
And traditionally, if you look through the Patriots' history of first-round draft picks, defensive line, linebacker, probably the positions that they've had the most overall success on, the highest hit rate, if you will. So I don't think you could ever truly rule out any of those spots for the Patriots in the first round. Also got to talk to a few potential later round picks from the Patriots, guys who were generating some buzz from that Shrine Bowl week. Tyrus Wheat from Mississippi State was one of them. Isaiah Moore from NC State, actually a big Red Sox fan and David Ortiz fan, Isaiah Moore. But yeah, those are some guys that should be on Patriots fans' radars maybe on day 3.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the other guys too, it's just when you think you know what the Patriots are going to do in the draft, especially in the first round, they do what you're not expecting. So maybe they do go defensive line there. But I think, Isaiah Moore is someone who we were talking about earlier that checks a lot of the Patriots boxes. He was a 3-time captain at NC State. He wore the green dot at the Shrine Bowl, called the defense for the West team that the Patriots were coaching. Said he sees a lot of similarities between himself and Juwan Bentley, who he called a great linebacker. Patriots obviously really like Juwan Bentley. So yeah, he's someone who, to me, I come out here thinking like I could totally see the Patriots taking him on day 3.
Yeah, Juwan Bentley, also a 3-time captain when he was in college at Purdue. So definitely a lot of similarities there, even though Moore is a bit of a smaller player, so maybe a little bit different skill set. Another interesting quote to come out of today was Will Anderson, Alabama linebacker. He's a player that I'm sure the Patriots would love to have, but he's most likely going to be long gone by the time they pick in the first round. But he played 1 season with Mac Jones at Alabama. I asked him what he remembered about that year, and he just lit up. He loved Mac Jones. He said he was a great teammate, said he really made an impression with his leadership and with his toughness. Some other Alabama players also had similar things to say about Jones. So even though Jones has been gone from Alabama for a couple of years, and there's been some questions this offseason about his kind of commitment and how he's viewed in the locker room and whatnot, it's clear his college teammates still think pretty highly of him.
Yeah. Anderson's comments were really interesting. Like you said, he really lit up. He was really animated when he was telling the story. I think he said something about Mac Jones having a bloody nose or something, and essentially being like, you got to toughen up here. But it's interesting because for all the criticism Mac Jones gets, both from some of the media or from fans in New England, you're never really going to find one of his teammates, be it in college or in the professional level, that's going to have a bad thing to say about him. And so that story today was just the latest evidence of that.
Yeah, and probably the biggest story from an NFL-wide perspective today was Jalen Carter, Georgia defensive tackle, viewed as a potential number 1 overall pick in this NFL draft. News broke that a warrant had been issued for his arrest in connection with a fatal crash that killed one of his Georgia teammates. This news actually came out just minutes before he was supposed to speak to the media here in Indy. He did not end up doing that. They canceled his news conference and he reportedly went home, but that's certainly going to be a major story to watch over this next month and a half or so, because again, that's a guy who could hear his name called first overall.
Yeah, and I think he just recently came out with a statement saying he intends to head home to Athens and said he expects to be fully exonerated. So we'll have to see what happens there and how that legal process plays out. But yeah, it was kind of a drama going on here because, I think a lot of people were getting up ready to go downstairs and talk to him. Check your phone and see, there's a warrant out for his arrest. He's probably not talking.
Yeah.
So it was definitely an interesting situation, and we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, we're about halfway through the NFL Combine now. The drills haven't even started yet, so all of those still to come, and we will hear from the defensive backs tomorrow morning here in Indianapolis.